Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word. Today with a short 3-minute book review on this work right here, Why I Preach from the Received Text, an anthology of essays by Reformed ministers. This book was sent to me by the Greater Heritage Christian Publishing in exchange for an honest review. I just finished it, learned a lot from it, and wanted to share it with all of you. Brief things before we get started on the timed review section of this video. First, I'm going to do a much longer, in-depth video on this topic. So if you want to know more about this topic, what is the received text? What is the Textus Receptus? What is modern textual criticism? What are these guys talking about? KJV onlyism, Textus Receptus, received text, traditional text, majority text. I'm going to do a longer video talking about all those types of issues, clear up some of the confusion, even give some of my opinions on after reading this and diving into the topic where I land on some of these things. And the description to that longer video, the link to that longer video is going to be in the description. I also am going to put up some written things on my blog to help out those who maybe want to know more or see my written review of this work and some of the summary of its content. So that link will also be in the description. As always, if you have questions about this video, make sure you leave those in the discussion. I'll try to answer what I can. I can't have all the answers, but I'm doing my best to learn together with all of you. And obviously, if this video encourages you and you like this content, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others. So with that, let's get into the time review, 3 minutes of this book right here. So I'm going to start the time right now. So first up, who is this for? This book, as they say, written at the very beginning, is for pastors, their congregations, and specifically those who, young men or those who are choosing a Bible translation for their preaching, teaching ministry. All right, so ministry leaders who are choosing a preaching, teaching text, congregants, and their pastors. Most of us just leave this decision of what Greek and Hebrew text our Bibles are based on up to academics and Bible publishers. And so they are advocating here we should be way more worried or concerned and educated about that process and what text they're using, what Greek and Hebrew text they're using. And so that's what they're saying in this book. And so it's to that audience, to pastors, their congregation, and to those who are seeking out, specifically young men in ministry, what text, what version of the Bible they are going to preach and teach from. And they talk about that specifically on page 18 of this book, the audience that they are writing to. Second, who wrote it? It was written, this is an anthology of essays. Yes, it's edited by the two guys at the bottom, Jeffrey Riddle and Christian McShaffrey. They did a great job. So I'm going to tell you this, 25 different essays, all from different people. Their credentials are at the end of the essay. They're from Presbyterian, Reformed Church backgrounds, Reformed Baptist backgrounds. I enjoyed a lot of them. Start with the two guys who edited. They'll do a good job of giving you an overview, and then they're all in alphabetical order. And then make sure you start with the introduction at the beginning, obviously. But you can check out their pedigree and their backgrounds for all the people at the end of each essay, and the editors give some of theirs at the beginning and in their essays as well. Third, what stands out about this work with the 1 minute that I have remaining? I would say this has a great tone to it. This is something I didn't know a lot about. I had let this decision, even as I had gone through seminary, read about modern textual criticism, but I had a lot to learn, and I left reading this book a way better educated Christian, minister, and pastor because of this content. And so you'll have to see the longer video to see kind of where I landed on grappling with its content. But I became a more educated person through this, and I think lots of people can learn from this. It has a good tone to it. They talk about how it's not supposed to be confused with KJV onlyism. We're talking behind the KJV on the Textus Receptus, the Greek text, and the Hebrew text. So it takes some of those things out of your mind. It's a bigger conversation than that. It was overall gentle and reasonable in manner. There was one essay where it talks about Satan's Bible that was a little bit more inflammatory. Yes, they're direct. They're trying to sway you towards their position, and they're giving best evidences they have for it. But it was a good tone as I was reading these essays. And I also thought it was cool that they ended the work, time, there's the review right there, But this last thing I want to get in here is they ended the work with an appendix where they talk about, be it in the pew for you as a congregant or a pastor, how to make some of the changes towards the Textus Receptus, the TR or the received text at the back. And I found those tips to be very helpful. They talk about not being inflammatory, not pushing it on people, but causing awareness for it. And so they have, the two editors did a helpful appendix at the end of this book to help those who read this and say, yes, I'm concerned about that, and I want to move my church towards it. So enjoy that and feast on all of that content. Time right there has passed obviously by about 40 seconds. Sorry for that longer review, but honestly, I wanted to go over time to make sure I got all that was in this book in this short little review for you. So with that, if you want more of this topic, check out the longer video that I'm releasing the same time with this video. I'm going to dig into all those questions that I had as I was going through this book. Just like, can I trust my Bible translation? What is the Textus Receptus? What critical texts are modern translations based on? Should I be worried about that? Can we know that we have God's word? How can we preach on a firm foundation? What is bibliology? What is God's preservation of his word kept pure in all ages? So if you want to check those out, go ahead and hit that longer video and watch me discuss that with all of you. Also, normal things, if you have questions, leave that below. I'll do my best to answer as best I can. Check out the blog for a written review. And I want to thank the Greater Heritage Christian Publishing for sending me this book. This is one of their best sellers at this moment when I'm filming this video, one of their most controversial as well, but obviously because this is a loaded topic and lots of people want to know how they can be sure of God's word. And I promise you, as you read this, as you read others, we can be sure that God has preserved his word. And we in the Christian community are having the conversation of how he has done that. And that's what this is all about. So with that, continue to read, treasure, follow the word. Watch some of the other videos to learn more. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.